We got new updates of that $400 million bribery, money laundering, tax evasion scheme Donald Trump likes to refer to as the new Air Force One that's coming from Qatar. Yeah, I don't think so. We do a better analysis of that on the Legal AF Midweek podcast, and here is a clip.
Today, they announced that they are accepting this. It was a $400 million jet from the Qataris, but I saw today, no, it's actually a $200 million jet. I don't know. Somehow they think that must make a difference. It's a gift. At first, it was supposed to be a gift to Donald Trump that he was going to take with him after having it retrofitted to the tune of $1 billion of taxpayer dollars to make it something that can be Air Force One worthy, right? It has to withstand nuclear radiation and bombing. And, there's so much that has to be done to it to make it Air Force One. And so that's going to cost $1 billion. And he was going to keep it in the end. It was going to be a gift to him. I saw today it was announced that it's a gift to the government. It's a gift to the Air Force. I don't know. I want to see the fine print of that deal because I don't really trust it. And, it's funny when you look at this. First of all, this gift that he's getting, that he's receiving is really, it's so strange to me because first of all, it's an old plane. It's like 15 years old. It's not that 14 or 15 years old. It's not like some brand new thing. They took this old plane, they made it shiny in the inside, with gold and all the things he likes, for the royal family. So it looks good, right? But it's this old clunker of a plane that's been on the market for years. They couldn't sell it. And so now what are they going to do? They're going to offload it to us and make it seem like they're giving us some great gift. But it's going to cost more to retrofit it. And guess what? What happened to Made in America? Like, why don't you buy an American plane and retrofit it and spend the money in America? But instead, here we are, we're accepting a gift that who knows how do you accept a gift from somebody and then say no to them? I mean, that's one of the things that's really hard and why gifts are so disfavored in public office, right? It's very difficult. And so that's why there's all sorts of ethics around if you're a government employee or a politician accepting gifts, because you have to be able to look them in the eye and say no to them and other things as well. So that's what's in the news today. I don't know, Dina, what do you think about this airplane, about this lame airplane? I really was like thinking, oh my God, this must be really great if this is going to be the next Air Force One, this incredible thing. But I'm like, this is like a used car, but it's like a used plane.
Yeah, I mean, it is Boeing. Boeing manufactured it, so it was made here and initially. But yeah, he liked the interior. The interior is decked out with like cashmere and all that kind of stuff, and that's all it took. But there's new reporting that shows that Qatar didn't want to actually even gift it. As you said, they've been trying to sell this for years. They were trying to sell it to the United States, but Trump wanted it to be a gift. And to your point about conflicts, because you have on the one hand, right, if we get a gift, are we indebted to them? And then on the other hand, how do you say no if you are a country like Qatar or other many countries around the world that are so dependent on military defense from our country? How do you say no to gifts, right? I mean, it's just the difficulty with our alliances. This is why it's just not allowed. It's bad for both parties, frankly. But so, of course, it came out that they weren't originally going to gift it because this is Trump. He lies about everything. But one thing I haven't heard discussed, which is something I'm almost even most concerned about, is after we deck this out, right? If this becomes a decked out Air Force One, like you said, able to withstand like literally every missile in the world, if he does end up bringing it back to his library, which who knows, maybe that's what wouldn't happen. Are we going to take away all of that protection? Because otherwise we are literally giving a man who doesn't believe in our democracy, right? Something that makes him more fortified than anybody else in the world other than our president. It seems like a very bad idea. I would think even more important than us decking it out is us taking away all that equipment so his plane can be back to a normal plane. The last thing we want is an authoritarian person being able to fly around in something like that.
Well, talk about waste, fraud, and abuse, right? And overspending. I mean, yeah, maybe originally this was made in America. It was Boeing. I didn't know that. So thank you for clarifying that. But, what it's going to take in order to, first of all, But by not buying an Air Force One plane, which I know there's one in the works, but by taking this and accepting it and retrofitting it, you're not giving the business to an American company again, right? You're not buying a new plane. But what you are doing to retrofit this plane, and the thing that really frustrates me is, as a former law enforcement person, the devices that you can put to bug, you can bug the devices to bug something, right? To listen in, to eavesdrop, whatever, are almost microscopic at this point. And they can be hidden, they can be placed in God only knows where. They are hard to find. This is a giant plane. I just can't imagine the work that's going to go into it to have to figure out and make sure that it's completely secure. I mean, that's my issue. This is a gift from a foreign nation. This is not something made by a company in America that has security clearances and government contracts and hopefully has America's interest in mind, right? And they don't want to sabotage this country. I don't know. The whole thing just smells fishy to me. It just seems weird. And I just don't understand why it is that we had to accept a used, airplane from 15 years ago, like a used car, where we couldn't get a new one, give the business to one of our own companies, but B, get something brand new and nice and not have to pay taxpayer dollars to make, just because it's got like cashmere and gold inside of it.
But that's all it is, right? I mean, let's just be frank. It goes to his taste. It's the opulent kind of gaudy taste, and that's all it takes. That, and he thought it was going to be quicker because those Air Force Ones that he commissioned in his first term aren't ready yet. They may not be ready for a while, and that's all he thinks about. He wants to fly around in a nice new shiny plane. Period. That's about as far as he gets in the thought process. So,
yeah, but didn't they say it's not going to be ready by the end of his term?
Well, no. I mean, his insiders thought it could be ready within the year. So who knows? I mean, this is all very like nobody's ever done this before. To your point about spy things, it probably has to get taken apart and re-put back together, which is going to be as long. So nobody's really thought this through. Knowing Trump, he's probably going to be like, who cares about the spy things? Because he thinks he's above it all. Who even knows? We're going down a lane here that's never been done before. But at the end of the day, it is all about the cashmere, point blank. That's all he cares about. Let's be frank.
I don't know. I think it's going to end up costing more money than it would if he just bought a new plane, frankly, and started from the beginning, right?
They've already
retrofit.
Yeah. Right. And they've already started the other planes. We've already bought those planes. Yeah. The government has already entered into a contract for 2 new Air Force Ones. That's in the works already. It's taking slower than they thought, but we're already paying for that because the idea is if he takes it, they're going to use that eventually. The whole thing is a mess.
I mean, the thing is, we don't need it. So why do this? It just makes no sense. Anyway, that's enough on the used car / airplane that we're getting to be our Air Force One from Quatari.
Welcome back. It's good to be back in the microphone. Appreciate everybody and their support. Legal AF every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Midas Touch Network. We repeat it and rebroadcast it on Legal AF because we want to be one-stop shopping for you on all things law and politics. Speaking of one-stop shopping, hit the subscribe button. That helps. Come over to our Legal AF Substack where we post these kind of videos without ads, new commentary, new content from all of our contributors on Legal AF. Join the Legal AF Substack community. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.